Oh, this reminds me of that portrait from Lady Ashbury's house. The one that Dr. Reid commented on to her. Look at him driving. Okay, Dr. Reid, he's got a whip. Look at that. Yo, that's fresh.
Well, this is it. Lady Ashbury's domain. Why am I not surprised it's not on any maps? I'd better hurry.
Yo, man, this is so crazy. Look at the whip. Find why Elizabeth's blood creates disasters. Learn the truth about Elizabeth. Look at us with the car, though. That's so cool. I'm waiting for that chapter 7 thing. Yeah, there you go. I was waiting for that to get off the screen. That's so awesome. Alright, we just beat the Red Queen. So as our maker was telling us, it was literally... Oh, he's back already. I'm not going to get a chance to talk at all. Alright, let's go ahead and get to talk to the maker again.
Beautiful morn, my child. It looks like dawn is here at long last.
Can't you just leave me alone? Your precious queen has been sent back to the bottomless pit from whence she came. The nightmare is almost over.
I am here to say goodbye. The sun's warmth exhausts me. Soon I will rejoin my queen in her endless sleep. It is over. You did well.
Why did Harriet Jones become a disaster?
You are the doctor. You hold the knowledge needed to answer such a question. Have you the answer?
All Ickers are female, Ickers are contagious. Now, we did notice this because, remember, I said earlier on, all the females on here that were like scouts, they all exploded with that poison. All the male scouts, they just died. So I wonder what the deal is with this.
I noticed that all the Icors were female, as if a male couldn't endure the metamorphosis. Harriet was also a bitter and resentful woman, as was her daughter.
If the Morrigan prefers despoiled women to become the vessels of her wrath, we should be thankful that but one disaster hath been cast upon this wobbling world.
This is just so crazy. I mean, I guess that's what Dr. Reid's trying to still figure out, is what caused the Morrigan to want to unleash a disaster upon everybody anyway.
Icors seem to carry various diseases. They did not merely turn people into skulls. Their presence alone spreads death.
Who knows whether the Red Queen awakens when cursed mortals endure such epidemics, or if the contagions emerge like a curse as she awakes.
So that kind of just puts us back again. We're still trying to figure out what exactly causes this to come up.
So our beloved mother will just go back to sleep, now that enough people have suffered. Is that it?
No, Jonathan. The Morrigan has been appeased because you dared confront her. You have prevailed, my bittersweet champion.
I mean, yeah, we did defeat Harriet Jones and her body, and then we defeated the Red Queen's, well, it said on the thing Avatar, but I guess that was her spirit entity.
And what are you to her? Her counterpart? Her opponent in some timeless game?
She is my mother, my dreadful and sour-tempered mother. She is yours too, in a way, but you are not born from her terrible womb like me. You are but a distant child.
That is so crazy.
What does she seek? Revenge? Retribution?
She seeks nothing, since she only dreams of it. In the ancient tongue, when I was young, her name meant Ghostly Queen. Pray she never fully awakens, for her wrath knows no bounds.
So it's like she... I can't tell. It seems like she's just an evil entity. I don't think there's anything good about this Morrigan. And Mirrodin sounds like he is... Well, obviously that's her son. but he cares about the world. I guess because he's blood like the world is. I'm still trying to put some of this together myself.
This is not over. I am here to find the true origin of the blood of hate.
'Tis unwise to interfere with a tale rooted so deeply in the suffering of others.
Look at all these questions. All right, let's keep going.
What will become of the Brotherhood?
I foresee trouble for them now that your progeny considers becoming the new primate.
But I'm certain the current primate has no wish to resign.
Exactly. And I am not fully convinced your progeny truly understands what dreadful power he is about to defy.
Oh, crap. Did we make a mistake turning Dr. Swansea into a vampire? We probably did, because it's not like when I made that decision, I was saying at the time, he didn't deserve it. Like, he was trying to do good. He was unethical about the way he went about it, but his intentions were good. But at the same time, maybe that showed that he's not actually that good of a person. I mean, it's just somebody that we've known for the longest time. And he was using this a little bit at the start of the friendship, before we took the job at the Pembroke. Oh, that's kind of crazy. Let's keep going, though.
What will become of the vampire hunters?
They will never stop searching for William Marshall, for he escaped their two great hunts. Remember that you too are now on their dark list.
Well, that's fine. I mean, I know Jeffrey McCollum won't vouch for us always, but I think for at least the next few nights we should be good. He did say that he was going to end the Great Hunt, so I mean, I guess the next time disaster starts to come up and they start another Great Hunt, that's when we can expect trouble.
What will happen to Ascalon? Will you let them run the country from the shadows?
I don't interfere with petty political intrigues. Ascalon was built upon the lie of a lineage. Such a deceit cannot last forever.
But Lord Redgrave definitely possessed Marshall's blood. Untainted blood from the greatest vampire knight.
Really? I wonder how he managed to acquire it. Perhaps I should retrieve this artifact before going back to sleep.
That is really interesting. Is he going to kill Lord Redgrave? Now just think, we killed all the members of the Ascalon Club that stayed behind, so Lord Redgrave would be by himself until other vampires returned since the Great Hunt ended. Man, this is just so crazy. I have just so many questions. Like, it's crazy to me that this is the end of the game and it's just opening so much more. I just want the story to keep going.
No. I must know why Elizabeth fled here when I discovered she was the original healthy carrier.
No, she is not what you say she is. That is a secret you will discover soon enough.
And you? Why are you here? Which new thread of which old twisted plan are you seeking to pull now? Tell me the truth.
I am just here to salute my sons and to bid them fare thee well.
Your sons? Plural? My God, will you ever stop speaking in riddles?
Perhaps I am too old for your spoken language. Perhaps you now have so many subtle words you no longer hear the simplest ones.
More. Oh, this is so funny. It seems like they're about to stop talking and then they just keep it going. I'm happy.
Who are your sons? Why do you bid them farewell now?
You are my son, as is William Marshall.
Alright, so that makes sense because William Marshall stopped the first disaster. Jonathan Reid stopped the second disaster. So if they ever did a third vampire game following the mentality of disasters, or listen to me saying that third vampire game, William Marshall did not get his own game. So you get what I'm saying, though. If there was ever a third disaster, Mirrodin would come back and make somebody else his progeny. Which I'm still trying to figure out. He's in this blood state, so how exactly he make us? Like, we never had bite marks on us, so did he just, like, blood spear us and infect our blood that way? Like, I'm trying to figure out how exactly he did this.
This is madness. How many have you created? Who else? Shakespeare? Isaac Newton? Alfred the Great? Francis Drake, Thomas More, Guy Fawkes?
My progeny is scarce, for I rarely feel the urge to protect this land anymore. But yes, one of those you named is your immortal brother. Maybe you shall meet one night.
Alright, out of all those names, I know everybody's notable. Not like I know everybody in particular, but wouldn't be surprised if it was Shakespeare.
So that is all we are to you? Puppets you create to defeat some threat born from a dreaming devil?
No. You are my sons. I am proud of you. I mourn when you fail.
This is so crazy.
When he fought me, Geoffrey McCullum used a serum made of King Arthur's blood. Since then, I have discovered that it was vampire blood. Whose blood was it?
You just said it. It was the blood of a king. The blood of the champion I chose to save this land in its time of greatest peril.
King Arthur was also your progeny. Why am I not surprised?
Yes, he was. But he failed in the end. And for centuries the land suffered his defeat.
Wow. So King Arthur, William Marshall, Jonathan Reid. Isn't that crazy?
Tell me about William Marshall. Why is his blood so strong?
He is not stronger than you, only older. You are strong, Jonathan Reid. A champion of your time, chosen to defeat a threat spawned of this generation.
No, I'm telling you, they have to do more vampire games. They really have to. Imagine a modern day vampire game. Like just in the city, and you got a disaster coming up. I mean, you could even, keep it in the same setting. It's not like you have to change it out of country, but you get what I'm saying. So much potential. They got to do another one.
Is he here? Is William Marshall here? Is that why you're here now too?
Have I not already answered that question?
He did answer that question. He said he was here to visit his sons before he goes back to sleep.
His blood was not tainted. The blood Lord Redgrave possessed. That which I used in the serum. But what if it had been?
Then you would have failed, I suppose. For the blood of hate would have corrupted you too.
So I wonder, William Marshall was talking about trying to find something to purify his blood.
Speak clearly then, and answer my last question.
What is it?
Did I defeat the epidemic?
Now you've found the castle, Jonathan Reid. Only you can answer that. Farewell, my child. I shall dream about you soon.
That is crazy. So this thing is like the son of a demon that is trying to protect the land. Because it's not like he asked for the life that he had, I mean, it was just the son of the Red Queen. Alright, so I know we need to head towards the castle. I do want to look around a little bit, though. I doubt there's... Oh. Hold on, is this the way we were supposed to go?
It's locked, all right.
Okay, yeah, so we would have ended up down there anyway.
The look decrepit. Maybe I can find a way to sneak in.
Surprised it doesn't just teleport up. But, yeah, so, like, we just keep going into so many dialogue conversations. I had stuff I wanted to say about 10 minutes ago, and then we just had all that talk. So, kind of recapping, we killed the Red Queen, or at least put her back to sleep. Old Bridget was Lord Redgrave's wife, and he can only create scowls, so that's how that happened, and that's why he hates her. That's so crazy. How do you hate her? I guess it's probably hate towards himself that he did that, because he did love her from the sounds of it, but turned her into a scowl. He was not pure of blood. But unfortunately, Elizabeth is the same way. I don't think she was with Lord Redgrave. Maybe so, though. Could be both of them. Mary Inglewood, born Whitaker? Whitaker? I don't know how that's supposed to be. 1534. Robin Inglewood. 1530 to 1578. Why do they let you see these? Has to be some significance, right? We got another one over here. Can't read those. But it's just so funny to me how the Red Queen and Myriad just kind of like came up during that fight and just kind of talked. Did they suffer? Oh yeah, they suffered enough. Okay, I'm going back to sleep. That was it. This is so crazy. Think about how many people have suffered from this. I mean, outside of the scowls and everything, so many people had the flu. Can we unlock this gate? I think this is the end of the game, but see, oh no, they won't even let you unlock it. Isn't that funny? I was about to say, I guess there's really no reason to. I don't think there's anything else. I don't think you can go back to the city after this. I'm pretty sure it's the end of the game.
It's locked.
The lady of the manor isn't expecting visitors.
No, she's not. At least this is nice and peaceful. We don't have to fight anybody. It is kind of weird not shifting around, though. Surprised they're not letting us do that.
Maybe it's just my imagination, but I think I smell Elizabeth's perfume.
I'm sure you are.
She must be here somewhere.
We'll find her. She said I was never your enemy, and she'd left.
It's locked.
So it's almost like she knows that she's got some bad blood in her. Maybe that's why she's not making progeny. That's probably why she doesn't want to make Charlotte a progeny. That would actually make sense. Because she's probably going to turn Charlotte into a scowl if she were to. Dear Mr. McAllister, as the new legal owner of the Ashbury estate, I intend to quickly engage in the overdue maintenance and repairs of the walls and the crypt of the castle. Among the few architects I invited to send forth proposals, I was most impressed by your respectful approach concerning renovations on historical buildings and their preservation. I would be glad to meet you at your convenience. My only request would be to speak to you directly and not your assistants. Any evening in next month would be agreeable. Of course, in the evening. You may come to the castle, or I can meet you at your office as you prefer. If you agree to come to the castle, I could show you what kind of repairs and modifications I have in mind concerning the crypt, which may need considerable work and reconstruction. Very sincerely, Lady Ashbury.
Like most castles, this one has a crypt, and it holds something special inside.
Is this her room? Can't be her room, right? Portrait of Dr. Jonathan Reid by Elizabeth Ashbury, 1918. So we're okay.
Elizabeth, my love, you allow my portrait to watch over you while you sleep.
Oh, so this is her room.
Flattered.
Wow. How about that? Portrait of Elizabeth Blackwood. Oh, so that used to be an old name of hers. So look at her, 1666. Wow. Can we see any more of these? This is really cool. Remember, she said she's been around as many famous paintings. That looks like that's one of her from 300 years ago, just about.
This castle is falling apart.
Same painting. I'm kind of checking all of them out, trying to see what we have here. Can we go down? That'll do.
That sweet fragrance. Elizabeth's perfume. She was here, and recently.
All right. April 1907. Dear Lady Ashbury, I write to confirm that my men will be at your castle next Monday to begin the new work on the crypt and its access. The plans have been approved, and I'll personally be on site to supervise the installation of the locks and security measures you have requested. I can also assure you that my men have been briefed about never entering the crypt itself or the second floor of the castle. I must say I'm proud to continue and enhance the work started by my great-grandfather when employed by your ancestor in 1795. Very sincerely, Angus McAllister. Interesting. So the McAllisters, I guess they've been doing this for a long time. It doesn't sound like they're vampires, so it sounds like maybe they're just good people that the Ashburys have trusted. They know not to go into the crypt by themselves. What would be in the crypt by themselves, though? Why would that be a concern? It sounds like it's just her here. But no, we know William Marshall's here because the Maker was here. So maybe he's hiding down there. Look at all these rooms. There's so much to explore. Lady Ashbury, you got a serious mansion.
This painting is suspicious.
Why did we just eat that rat? You know we had to. Oh, look at this. The Red Queen, is that William Marshall?
A sword and a moon are the symbols I should look for.
That has to be William Marshall. Or is that King Arthur? If I had to guess, that would probably be William Marshall facing the Red Queen for the first time. Wow. Look at London in the background. That's an incredible picture. Alright, so he said we're looking for a sword and we're looking for a moon. It's the stuff we're supposed to be looking on, I guess, on the walls. They gave you like another puzzle just trying to get around this place. Okay, yes, that's the rooms we came into. To enter the castle. I don't understand why we can't shift around here. I mean, there's nothing to be secretive about.
I can't believe I'm doing
It could be
this.
because it's getting closer to daytime. Maybe that's why he's not. He's probably a little bit weaker, maybe.
I have this
Okay.
thirst.
We've done enough
blood.
feeding on rats. We'll leave it alone from there. I don't think we have any more fights coming up. At least I wouldn't expect any. What are these things on the wall?
What are these symbols? I can feel a mechanism, but it doesn't work.
So we're looking for the moon.
Here's another switch. I should keep looking.
Ooh, we're going to find a way to enter, Dr. Reid. Won't be saying I cannot enter today. What is this? That looks like the moon.
One last switch, and
Okay, so we need to find the sword switch. Which I guess is going to be in here somewhere. What is this? Portrait of Lady Ashbury by Vincent van Gogh, 1885. So that's roughly, what, 40 years before this current time? That's pretty cool. Another letter. Dear Lady Ashbury, I thank you for your previous letters and ardent discussions about vampire folklore. It's now obvious we share an opinion concerning scientific and modern approach toward the need for blood and the cure of addiction. I must confess I admired your charitable attitude when I met you at the Dunbarrow Sanatorium, and I'm still impressed by your kindness when talking with humble and poor patients. I was delighted to read about the position of administrator at the Pembroke Hospital you financed since its founding. After a few days of deliberation, I'm happy to accept your offer. It will be, for me, an occasion to get back to the busy streets of London after years of public service in the beautiful but far quieter Scotland. I will be glad to meet you there and discuss with you further about immortality, its advantages and disadvantages, and how to enhance your condition. I look forward to our next meeting. Yours sincerely, Dr. Edgar Swansea. So it's about 9 years before all the events of this time period. So it is a little disappointing. I couldn't find Dr. Swansea last time we were at the Pembroke, and I didn't feel like trying to go back there to look for him again. So we don't know what he looks like as a vampire. I missed out on that. But at the same time, like I said a few times before, I have some other projects in mind for this game, so maybe we will get a chance to see him at some point. But for right now, I just want to find Lady Ashbury. Oh, here's the sword.
voila.
Yeah, but hiding on the side of the wall. How about that? Oh, going down into the crypt. This is about to get serious. She's not going to be expecting us. Whoa. Look at this crypt. We got another note down here. Let's see what this is. An ancient tome, 1217. What? 1217? An angel came to me, blessed be to God. Michael appeared to me last night in all his glory, shaped in glorious blood, to grant me eternal life at the dusk of my life. The apparition was so sublime and terrible that I could not help but lower my head and close my eyes. Struck by the divine gift, I fell to the ground, only to awake the next night. You will serve me as you served your king, said the angel before striking me with all his power. You will protect this land through the eons to come. For all who knew me, I shall now hide and retreat, for they consider me dead. Soon I will leave the company of men to serve my new purpose. Oh, so it sounds like these are all entries of when Myriad came and made people his progeny. Michael appeared to me last night in my retreat under Temple Church and asked me to prepare for battle. The land must be saved. Death is everywhere, the Black Death. an epidemic sent by the devil himself to punish mortals all over the world. My arm is strong. In the name of God, I shall smite the enemies of mankind. England shall prevail. 1569, it is almost 20 years since my fight against the devil, and the end is uncertain. From time to time, the plague, the Black Death appears in a village and a town, and each time the vicious minions of hell approach to get their share of the mortal suffering. Vampires, dreadful creatures. I won't let this land collapse. Until my last breath, I'll serve and protect England. So maybe this is William Marshall's 1578. Tonight in the small village of Hottersdon, I met the most delicate soul I've seen in a long time. She was singing for the dead, singing for those she knew and loved, those killed by a new plague outbreak without fearing for her own life. Her voice moved me, so I chose to let her live. I offered her eternal life as a reward for her virtue and most pious attitude. Her name is Elizabeth Inglewood. I'm not alone anymore. Together we shall praise God in all his glory for the eons to come. So did William Marshall make Elizabeth Ashbury his progeny? All right, so we already read 1578. There's a lot of entries here, so I'm just going to pause it and skim through. Go ahead and pause it if you want to read through these in their entirety. Looks like we have some really interesting things. Oh, hold on. What does this say? William Marshall shall disappear for a few times. All right, so I guess if you stay on one of these screens for too long, it just pauses it. William Marshall shall disappear for a few times too now that the Black Death is no more. Until we meet again, I shall be known as William Thorne, waiting for my angel to come back. Wait, William Thorne? Where am I? Man, these names are messing me up. There's so many characters on here. Isn't that what the Maker said one of his names was? 1665, the devil is at work again. The Great Plague is back, reaping thousands of lives in London. I must sell the bull in and go there. Once more, William Marshall shall protect the land. What have I done? I let the devil infect me. God forgive me. The terrifying creature I had to defeat was a demon straight from hell, an abomination of the flesh, a walking apocalypse. I had to trap the dreadful creature in St. Paul's Church and set the building on fire. Without the advice of Michael, I don't know if I could have defeated my enemy. The flames cleansed the city of the demon's presence, but half of London burnt down. Ever since I have dreamt of a red flood of slaughter and rage. It's like the disaster had tainted my blood, my very soul. For the first time in centuries, I am afraid. I shall crawl back to my retreat and pray to God for mercy of my infected soul. Elizabeth came to me. She said she felt my pain and rushed to save me. My poor daughter, blinded by rage, intoxicated by the blood of hate, I bid her. She fled, shocked by my betrayal. I laughed and cried as she cursed me. God, have I betrayed you? Have you abandoned me? 1712, my prayers have been heard. I found the strength to resist the need for blood, the never-ending hunger. My poor Elizabeth, will you ever forgive me? I've heard you now kill and take pleasure in bloodbath with this new progeny of yours. You're a victim in all this. What have I done? I swear I shall find a way to make amends for what I have done to you. Her new progeny, 1785. Okay, yeah, so this is definitely William Marshall's. This is the one that we saw. Finally agreed to meet me in London. They proposed we meet inside the new Cathedral of St. Paul. Yeah, the Cheer of Angels. Yeah, so we read this entry. This was the one that helped us learn about the mix that we needed. This was the entry that Geoffrey McCullum had. I finally managed to gather all the ingredients needed to concoct the Cheer of Angels. I did not recognize my sweet daughter at first, for she was only Lady Blackwood now. The dreadful mistress of the dark who took delight in slaughter and carnage in France. She smirked as I apologized and cried for what I had inflicted to her. She shouted at me when I tried to explain to her that my bite had infected her, had given her the blood of hate now burning in her veins and her soul. I told her I had found a cure, that I had managed to create one dose of antidote. I gave it to her to give her back her previous peaceful life. In exchange, I only asked her to take care of me, for I intended to be locked down in my tomb, chained if necessary, to impeach me from feeding on any mortal or immortal. She reluctantly took the Cheer of Angels and left. I hope to see her again, cured and at peace. 1794, she came back to me finally, cured, healthy, joyful. My Elizabeth. She told me she had drunk the antidote about a year ago in France after witnessing and taking part in the massacre of an entire orphanage caused by the blood of hate. That's when the Lady Blackwood died, she said. Wow. So that's why she went to another orphanage, but now she went and got Charlotte. Isn't that crazy? I mean, that was obviously years later, but she wiped out an orphanage. And then the last century, 1795, my dearest daughter came back last week to tell me the good news. She had recently bought a castle in Scotland. She will soon finance the renovation of the castle crypt to provide me a new retreat. Far from temptation, far from the noisy, crowded cities. I can't wait to embrace the solitude. Find the peace I need to refrain from killing. God, please give me the strength to resist the urges during the journey from London to my new domain. Before I leave, I should give a copy of these memoirs to the Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole, without the most shameful and sensible information, of course. Soon I shall leave London to pursue my penance. There I shall find my peace at last with the support of my resuscitated Elizabeth. Wow, so William Marshall was pure, and then he endured the blood of hate. I guess the Red Queen infected him with it, and then he infected Lady Ashbury with it, who went with Lady Blackwood, or turned her name into Lady Blackwood, and was pretty much a demon to the streets of London and France. And then he gave her the antidote, the Tear of Angels, which purified her blood back. But I guess, I don't know, I guess it didn't work, because she still was able to make scowls and cause this epidemic because of Dr. Swansea's blood transfusion. Not seeing anything else. Alright, let's go talk to them. Looks like they should be back here.
Drop your sword, Father. You have nothing to be afraid of.
Shall we abandon this then? Shall we lower our heads?
No. Never. You taught me that.
Blood is approaching. Old but young. How strange. Shall I drink it? Smite it?
No, Father. He is a friend. Please, rest. I'll take care of it.
Caution, Elizabeth. Deceit runs through these veins.
I know, Father. What took you so long, Jonathan?
Is this really him?
Yes. This is William Marshall, 1st Earl of Pembroke, servant of 5 mortal kings, former regent and saviour of England. The greatest knight who ever lived, according to some.
And you called him father?
For he gave me eternal life, and much more.
I have so many questions, Elizabeth.
You always had questions, Dr. Reid.
Now that I stand before you both, in this vault, I know not where to begin.
We still have a few minutes left.
Look at William Marshall over there. I mean, technically speaking, that is our brother. Isn't that crazy? The greatest knight to ever live, with the greatest doctor to ever live, with the greatest YouTuber to ever live, hell yeah.
Will you go back to London?
No, Jonathan. I do not intend to.
And what of your daughter?
Charlotte is a strong, independent woman who's about to come into money. I took care of everything. Now it's time for her to shape her future.
Wow, Lady Ashbury literally abandoned Charlotte. Yo, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. Couldn't turn her immortal because she probably would have became a scowl. Can't even bring her here. Damn, Charlotte.
Why did you flee here?
When you told me I was the healthy carrier, I had nowhere else to go.
You mean you had to return to the real source of this scourge?
Yes, to end it, once and for all.
Man. Yeah, so the Red Queen infected William Marshall, and he did not. So that's crazy. So, yeah, I'm just so confused, though, because we used a drop of his blood. So I guess it was pure blood that he had that he gave to Lord Redgrave, and then faced the Red Queen and got infected. I'm still trying to understand that sequence, because we know he defeated her once. I guess she came back a second time. Who knows?
Where are we? What is this place?
This is the Ashbury estate. I inherited the title when I purchased the castle.
Is this your retreat? Something of a secret place?
It's more of a sanctuary, really. This is where I take care of my father, ever since he became unwell.
Unwell is one way to put it.
Are you not afraid someone might discover you here? It's not that hard to find.
Do not assume that I would hesitate to silence anyone who tried to reveal my secret. Unfortunately, it has rarely come to that.
Fair enough.
I have destroyed the disaster, this creature that Harriet Jones had become. The epidemic is no more, and London will recover. In time.
Yes. You did well, Jonathan. You truly saved the city.
Yes, we did. Despite all obstacles. I'm truly convinced we did it together, Elizabeth.
I cannot bear knowing I was the cause of all this. Through the use of my own blood.
No. This catastrophe was the result of unethical experimentation. And the will of a creature so inexplicably evil, she exceeds all the terrible wonders I have seen since my death.
But it was my blood all along. My corrupted blood of hate. The poisoned blood of my father. A healthy carrier. That's all I am.
What's going on with Dr. Reid's pants? I know he's happy to see her, but damn, Dr. Reid, calm down. Oh man, that's kind of happened a few times on here. Y'all remember when we mesmerized Nurse Crane and she got a little too happy too? Shit happens.
We could cure him.
It's too late. The blood of hate has run for too long. The antidote would not work on him. I tried. Believe me, I tried.
So did the same thing happen to Lady Ashbury then? Because we know he gave her an antidote and she said she took it. Maybe she lied. Maybe she never did take it. Oh, that's probably what it is. She probably lied to him.
Is he dangerous?
What do you think? He is a thirsty Ekon who has not fed in centuries. An elder vampire driven by an urge to kill and spread the blood of hate.
Wow.
No redemption, then.
And yet he thinks he has been offered immortality by the angels to protect the feeble and to smite the unholy.
Man.
Can he communicate?
Yes. Sometimes he even seems like the noble knight who saved and raised me. But you know, the malice never fully leaves his eyes.
This is so crazy. I wonder, we're going to get to her. I think we're going to get an answer here in a second, but I wonder if she lied to him and has had the blood of hate and she's trying to manage it the same way he is.
Why are you hiding William Marshall here?
How could I not take care of him? He sacrificed himself by giving me the only dose of antidote he had.
But did you take it?
He gave you the antidote?
Yes. And in doing so, he knew he'd have to be confined here. And yet he volunteered. That's how great a man William Marshall was. And still is.
But how did your blood get cured from the antidote and then you still have the blood of hate in you?
What do you do for him?
I visit him as often as possible. I paint the landscapes he will never see again. I feed him with my blood.
You feed him? You barely sustain yourself on the weak blood of the dying, yet you give him your blood?
After he saved me from the blood rage, I swore I would never kill to feed. He said the same.
Wow.
William Marshall infected you. He is the true original carrier.
Yes. But he saved me by sacrificing himself.
Saved you? How?
The tears of angels. The cleansing of impure blood by an older, more powerful blood. It worked on me, did it not?
Yes. Blood is the definitive key to our species. Scowls, cleansing, lineage. Do you really think it worked?
It has, Jonathan. I was nothing but a beast who took pleasure in slaughter. I roamed across Europe, reaping my bloody crop. It was the blood of hate, but my father's antidote cured me.
Okay, so... Wow. So I guess it did technically fix her, but it's still within her blood. So maybe she just doesn't have the urge to be hateful and go out killing like that, but it's still in her. I think that's pretty much what they're getting at here.
How did you meet William Marshall?
He was an Ekon for centuries when he found me. He saved me from certain death by making me his progeny.
Why did he choose you?
You should ask him that.
Did you ever blame him?
Not even when he was infected and bit me. He is my father. He raised me. He taught me how to behave.
That is so crazy. So I can only wonder... I don't know if it's going to let us ask him that specifically, but I really wonder what the Red Goddess did that they were able to infect him, because he was already of a pure heart. So he said he got tricked. I wonder what exactly happened.
Who are you, really?
How could I answer that? I went through many lives and identities to reach this day. To you, I am Elizabeth Ashbury, and that's all I wish to be.
Yeah, we're going to respect her desire for privacy, because we already read the notes. We know she was Elizabeth Blackwood. That's when she was in her killing phase. And then she also had another name before that. I can't remember off the top of my head, but there was another name we saw in one of those letters.
I understand. And I respect your desire for privacy.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Yeah, we already know the answer to it. There's no reason to push that.
What about us?
What do you mean?
You know my feelings towards you, Elizabeth. But you left without a word. So I'm worried about your feelings towards me.
I love you, Jonathan. I've loved you since the moment I saw you rescue poor Mr. Hampton in that filthy slaughterhouse, forgetting the danger as you turned your back, like the newborn fool you were.
Man, so much stuff has happened in this game, and this playthrough has kind of gone over several weeks longer than I intended. And I honestly keep forgetting that Sean Hampton got turned into a scowl in that moment we saved him from the other person. I can't think of their name off the top of my head. Yeah, that's when Sean Hampton turned into a scowl. So we were questioning if he had been a scowl for so long, and we knew he hadn't been. He got turned during that time. The one person that we were tracking, that Dr. Swansea was tracking, they turned Sean Hampton into a scowl. I think it was William Bishop, that was the name. So we should have known then and there that that's when he turned into a scowl, and he was acting as if he could control it, but he really couldn't. He played us. So next time, we're either going to turn him into an Ekon or we're going to take him out.
You should have told me.
No, Jonathan. The William Marshall myth lies at the heart of so many hostile plans. I could not risk jeopardizing his safety.
So why did you come here? You knew I would follow you. I can't let you go.
Because I know now the blood of hate is still in my veins. No one but I can put an end to this tragedy.
I can help you. You can trust me, Elizabeth.
I know, Jonathan. You have been the most loyal ally these last few weeks. But this is my duty.
Would your protege agree to speak with me? I have so many questions for him.
Go on, Jonathan. But be careful.
This is so crazy.
Yes?
Sir William. My God. You really are William Marshall. You served Richard the Lionheart and his brother, King John. It is such a privilege to meet you.
I did in my day. Come closer if you want to speak. For my hearing isn't what it used to be.
I think your hearing is fine, sir.
What is it you want then?
Was he about to try to kill us? I think he was. Come closer, he's gonna feed on us.
I found and defeated the disaster that was threatening to smite London. You should know that the city is safe for now, Sir William.
Then may I call you brother? Did you resist its poison? Even a scratch from a beast so evil could endanger you and all those you care for.
Okay, so that makes sense. So even a scratch. Is that what that scratch is at the top of his eye? On his left eye? It would be to the right on our perspective, but his left eye. Maybe that's where the Red Goddess got him. Just a scratch could turn his blood into the blood of hate.
You also defeated one in 1666. Who was it?
She was a malicious witch who spread plague throughout the city with her army of rats. She had been hiding in a bakery in Pudding Lane for months when I finally found her.
Wow.
How did you defeat it?
We fought for hours. In the end, I had to lock her in St. Paul's Cathedral and burn the building down. I wanted to be sure she was destroyed.
Wow. Yeah, we read about that entry.
I found your research on the antidote. The Tears of the Angels. What ingredients did you use?
Once I understood what the ingredients were, I used the tears of King Richard and the pure blood of the valiant Boadicea.
Boadicea? I don't think we've seen that name before.
King Richard and Boadicea? How did you find such relics?
It took me many years to locate their hiding place. Then I had to learn the formula. If I recall, it belonged to an ancient brotherhood. The Order of St. Paul, I believe.
Wow.
And did it work?
Yes. The tears cleansed my poor Elizabeth's blackened heart. It was such a blessing to see her smile again.
Very interesting.
The blood of hate. How does it affect you? Do you feel it now?
The blood of hate? Yes. Nothing more than a sneeze, really. A sneeze held for so long, you could blow a fortress down if you released it.
Yeah, we need to talk about the Morrigan. Mirrodin. We gotta start here first, though.
Can we speak about the Morrigan?
The Red Queen. What of her?
You met her, did you not?
Just once. But she never ceased to sing to me. I love her song. It is a song of blood and war. I only wish she would sometimes let me rest.
Do you know who she is?
I don't want to discuss this in front of my sweet Elizabeth.
Why?
For a time, she too could hear the Red Song. The steps she danced to its melody brought pain upon the world.
No, we need more information. So was the Morrigan a person? I just don't know. I'm not even going to try it. Let's just keep going.
I would like to ask you about vampires.
Vampires? What about them?
Considering your experience, please tell me what you know.
They are terrible creatures. I have seen and fought many in my time. Foul temptresses with sharp claws and shrieking beaks.
I have never seen such a creature. What are you talking about?
Of course you've never seen a creature like them. Vampires are deadly, swift and implacable.
Where did you encounter such creatures?
The last time I saw one was in a Celtic temple near Salisbury. A terrible and god-forsaken place full of ghosts and pestilence.
So is he talking about another breed of vampires? Because obviously we're a vampire, we're a Necron. We know there's Scowls, which is a breed of vampire. He must be talking about a different type.
Do you remember Myrddin, your maker?
Only God is my maker, for he created everything on this earth. He blessed me with eternal life through his archangel, Michael.
But Myrddin, Michael, is a vampire. He made you a blood-sucking creature of the night.
Blood, yes. I used to drink it from the throats of the unworthy. Then I was punished for my deceit. During my penance, I rely entirely upon my sweet Elizabeth.
Man, this is so crazy. So yeah, that's what I was thinking. So the Archangel, as he said, Michael, was actually Myrddin. So we kind of put that together. I don't know if I discussed it when we were reading those entries, but that name made sense because we know that's who the maker was.
Did you really sacrifice yourself to save her?
That was the only righteous path. The blood of hate made me betray her. I am at peace here. I can think about what I've done and how I failed.
I still want to know how you got, like, I still want to know how you got the blood of hate. Like, what did the Red Goddess do to trick him? But he said even just a scratch will do it, so that's why I think it wasn't much, if anything.
Do you not want to be cured?
No. This hunger is mine. I would feel empty without it. It has been part of me for so long. All I want is quiet. Silence.
Wow.
You agreed to be confined here, then?
Yes. Once I was sure she was cured, I asked to be locked down here. I deserve it. The world needs it.
So that must be why she has a sword. Let's see what happens, though.
How did you meet Elizabeth?
Times were tough. I had awakened to protect the land from a new plague. I heard her sing for her dead family. Singing for her death to come. I chose to save her.
When was that?
It was so long ago. A few years after Elizabeth of England and Catherine of France established their alliance against Spain.
Interesting.
What did you do?
I raised her as my progeny. After she left to see the world, I rebuilt her deceased parents' inn. Owned it as William Thorne for a time. Those were good years.
Okay, so William Marshall is William Thorne. I think I was inquiring about that earlier. There's just so many names on here, I just kind of get lost in it.
Tell me about Elizabeth. How was she infected?
I do not wish to discuss it.
Please, Sir William. I need to know what the blood of hate is. How is it transmitted?
After defeating the disaster in St. Paul's Cathedral, I returned to my retreat, infected. This is where my sweet Elizabeth found me, for she heard my pain from across the sea.
Where is this retreat you mentioned?
In London, under Temple Church, beneath my empty tomb. I always loved to sleep there while listening to the bell above.
Isn't that where Usher Talltree is? Remember where they had those pedestals that we couldn't figure out the pattern for? That must be where his retreat is.
What happened then?
The blood of hate had twisted me into a rage-filled man. I attacked my progeny and infected her too. Forgive me, Elizabeth. I failed you.
You bit her again? Is that how she was infected with the disaster's blood? I think I understand now.
Elizabeth fled, and I fell to my knees, begging for forgiveness. I swore I would find a way to make things right.
Wow.
We could set you free. Let you out. Isn't that what you want?
I pray for the day I'll see the sky again. I have all but forgotten its colors. I could walk and do so many things beneath the stars. But I doubt it would be wise to release me.
Then will you stay here and repent?
Elizabeth told me it will not be long now. I cannot wait to feel the sweet caress of her hand on my cheek after so long as she releases me. Has the time come?
Yes, Father.
Why not unleash me then? To see the sky a final time?
You already are the sky, and all its stars.
I'm not defeated, for I welcome the sword you bear, for it is mine.
You were never defeated, my lord. Farewell, Father. And to you also, Jonathan.
What do you mean?
I can't stand what I've become. This healthy carrier, as you put it. The flames will purify the poison that runs in my veins.
No! I won't allow this to happen.
I am death, Jonathan. Wherever I go, I can't stand it.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reid, champion of Myrddin, chosen to save England from the vampire epidemic. I could cure you.
What do you mean?
We are creatures of blood, Elizabeth. Everything about us is in our blood. With time, I could perfect the antidote William Marshall gave you. Trust me, for time is on our side.
That is a risk I cannot take, Jonathan. I won't bring another such disaster into this world.
Elizabeth, no. Trust me. I can save you.
How could I trust you, Jonathan? How could I take such a chance?
I'll stay here with you then, as long as we must until I find a cure.
You have no idea what you're talking about, Jonathan. Despite his madness, William was strong enough to starve for centuries. I doubt we can do the same.
We will lock ourselves down then. I'll get all the material I need and I'll perform my research here with you until you're cured.
Are you mad? Who would take care of us? Who would free us if it takes decades or even more?
Old Bridget will take care of us.
You are serious, aren't you? You really are ready to do this?
I love you, Elizabeth. I can do this. Please, stay with me.
I believe you. This is crazy, but I believe you, Jonathan.
One prayer for the summoned, called by this song. Child born from darkness, whose path ye must find. Now the song is sung, and your path chosen. England is safe, for you have prevailed. I bid you farewell, my champion bittersweet. You found yourself a newer quest, and so I leave you to it. My queen sleeps once again, and I'll soon join her slumber, until alas she rises, woken by the hunger never fed.
I think we got the good ending. We did. That is the end of Vampyr. I'm telling you guys, that was the good ending. That was the good ending. So we absolutely did it. Even though we had to feast on Aloysius Dawson, that didn't matter in the grand scheme of things. We never feasted on any of the citizens. And we were able to keep Lady Ashbury alive. Because she will put herself in that fire to cleanse the poison if she does not trust us. And the first time I played this game, I feasted on Nurse Crane, and that disappointed Elizabeth because she abhors violence, and she set herself on fire from it. So we definitely got the best ending possible. That made me so happy to see them stay together and not her taking herself out. That's awesome. Well, I really hope you enjoyed this playthrough. This has been an incredible run. This is an awesome game. I know I didn't finish all the side missions and everything to it, but I will be doing more with this. I'm going to step back and work on Star Wars Outlaws now that we finally have this story behind us. But I will be coming back because I do want to see what happens if you take out everybody in the game and make yourself as strong as possible. I want to see what happens if we make McCollum a vampire, Aloysius Dawson a vampire, and if we were to kill Swansea. So there's a lot of different endings, a lot of different stuff that can happen from this. It'll be a little bit of time before I get back on here, but like I said, I'm going to move over to Star Wars Outlaws and continue on with that playthrough now that we finally have this incredible game behind us. So I appreciate the support once again with this playthrough. Hit the like button and subscribe. Click into the channel, check out all the other playthroughs I have. I have several games already done, the Gears of War trilogy, older games like Crackdown, fairly newer games like Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Quite a few playthroughs. And then check out a lot of the recurring series I have on the channel between Star Wars Battlefront 2, Chivalry 2, and a few other games like Dead by Daylight, Call of Duty, Halo, and so forth. But once again, I do appreciate all the support. Join the channel. Join the Order of Klockwork and get exclusive uploads of different games, particularly Battlefront 2 and Chivalry 2. Hit the bell icon for upload notifications. Thank you once again for all the support. If there's anything else after the credits, I'll throw that in there. Otherwise, this will be the end of the story of Vampyr. I'll see you guys on the next game.